Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Davies of First 30, and I am here today talking to Rob Ferrari. You haven't got it wrong. It is like the car, about a great idea. And when Rob and I first met, I just knew we had to chat about this topic during a session like this. So Rob, why don't you share with everyone who you are and what you do first?
Yes, thanks, Amy. Great to see you again. My name is Rob Ferrari. I'm a human resource manager with Wuxley Movement. We're a Canadian outerwear brand, and I'm here to speak to you today about the power of being a great listener.
Yes, and this is one of my favorite topics because my husband is an amazing listener, and he has taught me a lot about this. And I know that you're going to have so much to share with everyone today about the power of being a great listener. So tell us then, why is this topic so important, and how did you become interested in it?
Yeah, Amy, it's really important because I think it's an overlooked skill. I think a lot of people may interpret listening as just something that you're naturally going to participate in any day when you're interacting with colleagues, but there is more to it, I believe, to do it well. And there's a lot of value to be had for both someone telling you something professionally, privately, whatever may be the case, and value for the listener as well, to be able to um, guide a conversation and show that you are, engaged and to convey that the importance of what's being told to you. And I think it goes a long way in terms of rapport building and being able to better identify issues and problems and come up with solutions in a quicker and more efficient way as well when you truly engage in listening and understand what's being said.
So if someone's listening to this today and wondering, I wonder if I am a good listener, how do you know if you're a good listener?
You know, you may never know, but I think the most important thing is that you're aware that you are trying, and there are certain things, both verbal and nonverbal, that you can do to improve your listening abilities. Listening certainly is more than the act of remaining silent while someone else speaks. It's more than waiting your turn to speak after someone else is finished speaking. Um, there's, I think, a lot that can be done non-verbally that conveys a level of, respect and um, shows that there is importance in the time that, whether it's a one-on-one or in a small group, that you are valuing what's being said. And maybe a way to know that you are being a good listener is the second conversation along the lines of what's being initially discussed, or the length of the conversation, or you don't sense that someone is, feeling that whatever they're trying to convey to you is not getting through, and that they're a level of comfort, and hey, maybe they'll give you the, hey, you're a really great listener. And that's how you can know as well.
Yes, and that's how I knew, or you knew that I thought you were a great listener when we spoke last. I love what you said there, that being a great listener is not just the act of being quiet. It's also, as you said, what's going on in your mind while the other person is speaking, so that you're actually responding to the specifics of what they're saying, not what you've been noodling about what you want to say next as they've been talking. And I really do think that that's incredibly important advice for the HR world, because I'm sure that you've had to do a lot more listening recently in the past few years where we've been going through a global crisis.
Certainly. And, for myself, I want the words that I'll often give to people to bring things to me, and that I am open and doors open to really mean something, and for that to be met in those moments that, people are taking you up on that offer, that it's a true thing. And yeah, I do think more important than ever now to to have a pulse on where people are at, within their roles and just within their lives in general. And it's difficult to truly separate the two, but again, being able to prioritize listening and do so with purpose does allow you to gain more insight. It's not this, maybe I'm presenting it as a truly altruistic thing, but selfishly, there's a lot to be gained on your end as well when you better understand people's problems too. So, but certainly, yeah, now more than ever, it's important to truly hear what people are saying, to maybe in the event of an unexpected conversation, to have the awareness and wherewithal to like really transition out of what you were probably thinking of getting to next and doing next, or maybe you've been in the middle of doing, and give that person the eye contact, the attention away from your device, and the things that communicate is like, yes, what is it? I want to hear about this, and not, okay, this sounds like this could take at least 5 minutes. I need to get to this thing. I said I was going to call this person back, and really like that's a tough thing to do, but because yeah, you are doing your own things, but to as quickly get away from that line of thinking and into receiving the message that's being given.
I think one of the great outcomes, and as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about it, but I wasn't just thinking about what I was going to say next. Don't worry, I was really listening. But what it leads me to believe is if you're an HR professional who can truly listen to your employees, and you take that moment to be silent when you might have spoken, to let them finish their thought, or maybe they will tack something onto the end, that's probably when the most comes out from people. So you might be learning about things that will help your company with retention if you just take those few extra moments to pause after they speak, because maybe they'll feel comfortable enough to share with you what's really going on at a much more deep level.
Certainly, and I think that it puts it very well. I think a lot of times, whether it be in a conversation or an interview, we may challenge ourselves to come up with the best questions to gain the most insight on whatever the topic may be, but often just remaining listening and offering the small verbal cues to infer an understanding, to really give the message of, yes, I'm here with you, keep going. That can be even better than the perfect question to get the desired information, whatever the conversation
Yeah.
may be.
Yeah. So how can someone sharpen their listening skills if they're not sure, right? Because like you said, it's hard to really know if you're a good listener. So if people watching this today want to walk away and learn how to be a better listener, do you have any advice for them?
I would just say that, thinking of it as an ability and something that, as many things, with practice improves, and with less practice you may get perhaps even rusty in. And I think it's important, as always I've kind of alluded to it, but the nonverbal cues around it, the separation from whatever device that you may be engaged with. Maybe if you are able to pick up on the tenor of the conversation immediately and understand if maybe the environment that you're in isn't appropriate, to offer somewhere else to go, and to really create a space that shows priority. And I think when you are showing effort, maybe effort in listening conveys the level of empathy, and I think that's a really important quality in any HR professional, any leader, manager, etc. But yeah, guiding the conversation along with the small verbal cues, nodding of head, and things like this, things that of course seem like so common sense, but really can sometimes require like the awareness to be doing it. And that again is not to take away from truly listening to what the message is, and really keeping that top of mind too. So it's like, perhaps training yourself to truly have an interest in what's being said to you. And then I think it never hurts also to kind of just give a little encapsulation or a rephrasing to both show that, yes, I have been listening. Here's what I'm hearing. And please do, correct me if I've misunderstood something or if there's something to be added to this at all too.
That's a really powerful piece of advice. So to repeat back to the person what they've said, to confirm, I've understood you, I've heard you, I've understood you. Is there anything that I haven't? And that's not just about listening. That's about being a great HR professional and really learning how to make people feel heard and then take action on what they have told you. Well, I absolutely love this discussion. And I want to thank you so much for joining us today. If anyone needs an ear, you can always connect with Rob. But I think that your organization is very lucky to have someone like you, Rob. So thanks again for joining and take care.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Amy.
Bye.